but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba. Thank you, beloved Baba, and Jai Baba to all of you. We are meeting this wonderful evening to read Baba's book called More Conversations with the Awakener. But before we start that, there are two queries. One is, I won't name the person because I haven't asked the permission to convey the name, but the writing is this. It says, Vivification of Impressions, page number 310, Discourses, 7th. Though foolish, there's one question related to this. Even the forgotten episodes, experiences in the life, all, and the incidents to which we have not given much importance and taken lightly, whether pleasure or pain, and or incidents totally forgotten, will also get vivification of. Or in other words, suppose take a case of an Alzheimer patient or old age, where they have lost the memories. What about the vivification of their impressions? Only those they remember will be reviewed or re-experienced. Can you please throw some light on it? And then there's a little more, but it is not relevant to what we are doing. Now we are reading this page. There's somebody's mic is on. I think Ram, the mic is on, somebody else's mic is on. So there's a little noise coming through. All right. In short, vivification of impressions means you are reliving, enlivening those impressions. This is a state of after death. After we die, after we drop the physical body, we experience intensive mental state of heaven or hell, depending upon the prepondering samskara. That means which samskaras are more. So here, anyway, I won't read the whole thing again. I don't think we need to read that. The explanation to this is that whether we remember or not, whether we are suffering from Alzheimer or dementia or whatever, whether we have taken the experience lightly or very seriously, it has imprinted an impression on our mental body. And since it has imprinted an impression on the mental body, we will be reliving those impressions in the state of heaven or hell. It doesn't mean that if I have murdered somebody and I take it lightly, so what? Ek aadmi mar gaya, to so what? That doesn't mean that, oh, I have taken it lightly, so I don't have to suffer. In short, the answer to the questioner is that irrespective of whether you have forgotten, whether you have done it very lightly, whether you are suffering from some mental disorders, all said and done, if there is an impression, there has to be an expression to that impression which gives us an experience. And in the heaven and hell state, as we already know, there is only a one-way traffic. We only exhaust the impressions through experiencing the joys or the suffering of the heaven or hell state. So that was one question which I wanted to answer. The second question is from our dear friend Rakesh Gupta. Rakesh, would you like to say? Would you like to read your question or do you want me to read? Rakesh. Okay. Go ahead, Rakesh. Shall I read it? Rakesh, are you there?
He's there, but I think his audio isn't coming through.
Okay, that doesn't matter. Let me speak. You have written to me. It is mentioned. Yeah. Okay. There's a. Yeah. Please, Soumya will read out this, giving a rest to my
sound, sight, and smell. In the fourth plane, the bliss of sound, smell, and sight are all subdued and repressed. The fourth plane connotes the darkest night of the spiritual journey, wherein even Jesus could not but cry out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? It is for this reason the wayfarer traversing the path all alone, unaided by a master, finding himself benighted and forlorn in the fourth plane, is very strongly tempted to make wrong use of his psychic powers of the three lower planes, culminating in the fourth as Siddhis Kashf o Karamat. And what a fall this means! It means once again going through the chain of evolution right from the beginning, the stone state. Questions? Mayor Baba answered, page 67.
That is the
69.
source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the question. What is
It is-
Rakesh's
It is
question?
mentioned here that Jesus cried out on the fourth plane. My question is whether the avatar was already unveiled and being present on the fourth plane cried out, thus his shortcoming, his shortcoming, or it was his unveiling. Baba,
Before his unveiling.
before his unveiling, Baba has not described his shortcoming in his last avatar, which he said will be revealed during the next manifestation. What's your guess?
All right. Now let us go to the question itself. It is mentioned here that Jesus cried out on the fourth plane. My question is whether the avatar was already unveiled and being present on the fourth plane cried out. Okay. Baba says that whenever the avatar comes, he stations himself on a particular plane depending upon the work, divine work, which he has to do in that particular incarnation or in that particular advent. I wouldn't call it incarnation. So far as a few avatars are concerned, Baba had said that Jesus stationed himself on the fourth plane because he had to perform a lot of miracles because it's a plane of miracles. He also said that Gautama Buddha stationed himself on the fifth plane. And Baba also said that Muhammad Paigambar stationed himself on the seventh plane. Now, what it all means, I cannot answer. This is what Baba had said. Now, definitely, it was after after Jesus was unveiled, so to speak, by John the Baptist. It was much after this crying out, why hast thou forsaken me, was during the end of his physical historical ministry, I would say. Historically, he died at a very young age, historically. But Baba says that truthfully or in reality, he did not die on the cross. He went into what is known as Nirvikalpa Samadhi without consciousness. And after that, after 3 days, his disciples took him to some place and he had gone all the way up to Rangoon. And finally, he died at a ripe old age in the Kashmir Valley. Baba even pointed out Harvan. Baba even pointed out the direction in which Jesus' tomb was there. So if the question is whether it was done before he was unveiled, no, it was done after he was unveiled. Now the question comes is, why did he, being the avatar, being the God-man, have to say that, why hast thou forsaken me? Now, this is my limited understanding. I want to say that, that whenever the avatar comes, he's, or even the perfect master. I'll give you an example first of a perfect master. Shirdi Sai Baba, whom we all know was not only the Kutub, but also Kutub-e-Irshad. That means the head of all the Kutubs and the head of the entire spiritual hierarchy at that time till Meher Baba took over as the Sahib-e-Zaman. In the Darbar of Shirdi and he would hold the time, he would consume it. And Meher Baba had explained that when the masters come, they concentrate all kinds of whatever you call it. In this case, gluttony. In some cases, lust. In some cases, greed. In some cases, temptation, anger, whatever it is. In one place, they amass it, they collect it, and by working upon just that one place or one person, they are able to diminish. Full elimination may not be there, but diminish to a very great extent that aspect of whatever, in this particular case, gluttony. So in my understanding, Baba had explained, because when somebody asked Baba that how is it that Jesus got tempted, now, Baba replied that Jesus did not get tempted, like temptation did not overcome him. He got himself tempted so that he can pull towards him. He can suck towards himself all the sanskaras and impressions of temptation. And then by overcoming that, he nullifies, or in a sense, if not full elimination, if to a very great extent. So in the same way, here these words were spoken when he was about to be nailed on the cross. And at that time, this is how we understand. He is full of divine powers. He can do anything. And he is stationed on the fourth plane. So he is getting into a temptation of being able to overpower everyone and everything. But he did not use his powers. And that is where he said, God, why have you forsaken me? I am being nailed to the cross. Why are you not coming to my rescue? This is my limited understanding. So in other words, Jesus called out these things in order to overcome the temptation of using his powers. This is how I would interpret it. I don't know if Rakesh, thus, is this his shortcoming? No. This was not his shortcoming. Was it before he was unveiled? No. He was unveiled long before. This is towards the end of his historical physical ministry, I would put it. Now you are telling that Baba has explained about the shortcomings or the human frailties, you can say, of individual samskaras, in which for himself, Baba had said, I have two. And one, he said, I am very bhola, very gullible. I believe everything that everybody says. That is what the first shortcoming was. And the second one, he said, I will tell you in my next incarnation, in his own inimitable way. The question is, what is my guess? I feel I am not qualified to make any guesses with regard to the avatar himself. I really don't know. So that's if Rakesh is satisfied, well and good. Otherwise, we can answer more, or then we start with the reading. Yes, Rakesh? I think there's some issue with the audio. So I am assuming in my favor that Rakesh is satisfied and that we move on with the reading. It is on page number 83 and very beautiful chapter called, everything is beautiful about this book. The chapter is The Bill Unplayable. So now read out. Yeah, okay, go ahead. The Bill Unplayable.
Injured by false allegations circulated by an intimate friend of mine, my mind was plunged into turmoil. I was greatly annoyed with myself for not being able to deal with the situation. The gossip had been going on for over a month and had become unbearable for me. Disillusioned and dejected, I threw myself into a chair. How close we had been, and yet, sadly, I closed my eyes to block out the sorry spectacle of this world. Then I heard a soft voice. Are you angry or are you meditating? You asked.
See the sense of humor that Baba has. The person is boiling inside and with closed eyes, and how to cut the ice, we call it. How to break that monotony. Baba is asking, are you angry or are you meditating? because he had closed eyes. Go ahead. And many times we do find that most of our secretest secrets we reveal to our so-called loyal friends, and that is what they use against us,
Misuse.
misuse against us. And when that happens, you can imagine what sort of turmoil that we
Let
go
down.
through, what letdown, frustration, whatever you call it, you know. So we need to learn lessons from this, that we need to know whom to speak to, how much to speak to, what to speak to, and all that.
I opened my eyes to see you there, but I fumed.
Both. That means I am angry as well as I am meditating. Okay.
Angry meditation. This is something new.
See now, sorry for interruption. How beautiful the wordings are when Bal Natu says in a fit of anger, both. He says, oh, angry meditation. This is something very new. You know that in meditation you calm down, but this is a new product called angry meditation.
But what happened that made you lose your temper? Something I really did not expect. I grumbled. The unexpected is always waiting around the corner, and one should be ready to face it without losing one's equilibrium. And again, you inquired gently, what is troubling you?
Very profound words. The unexpected is always waiting around the corner, and one should be prepared to face it with poise, equilibrium, with calmness and equilibrium. Superb.
Accusations that are totally false, I exploded. If the charges are really false, why should they affect you? You are smiley. But there are so many deceitful rumors that accompany them. What has become of my image in society? You should have been more concerned about my image in your eyes than about your image in the eyes of others, you caution. Eventually, the truth shall prevail. But I was too aroused to be appeased by this kind of assurance. What should I do there until then? I snapped. Just keep my mouth shut about all of this? Well, not necessarily if you can't wait. But regardless of what you say or do, you shouldn't lose your mental balance because of it. In fact, you could have taken this unexpected experience as a challenge to face the situation cheerfully, and you smile. I was still smarting and unable to, perhaps unwilling to relinquish my sense of indignation. How I wish I could do that, but it's too much, impossible. Yes, you could be right, you sighed. And then you suggested, why don't we take a walk in the park? The open air, the blue sky, the sparkling leaves, and the flowers will help you calm down. Get your hat, but don't look in the mirror. You winked at me.
Okay. It's so beautiful. I would like to read it again. Many of us go through this passage of time when people cast aspersions against us. They will spread all kinds of false rumors against us, all allegations against us, which are not at all true. And we fume and fret. We get so disturbed, we don't get sleep. And what a beautiful one-liner reply. Baba says that if these rumors are false, then why does it affect you? That means it is not addressed to you. Although, why, in short, we say, why do you wear a cap? If somebody is saying something wrong about you and you know it is false, then why do you wear the cap? Why does it affect you? The very fact that it is affecting you shows that you are yourself also accepting those rumors. See how beautiful it is. So I'll just do this. The unexpected is always waiting around the corner, and one should be ready to face it without losing one's equilibrium. Anything can happen any moment. At just the moment before it was everything calm and smooth flowing, and the next moment it could be traumatic. And Baba expects us to face everything with a calm mind, with a sense of equilibrium, equanimity, and of course, at the back of it, Baba knows about it, and Baba has allowed it to happen to me. That means it is for my own growth rather than fuming and fretting. How do I get out of it? And again, you inquire gently, what is troubling you? Accusations that are totally false. I exploded. See the line Baba says, if the charges are really false, why should they affect you? You asked mildly. But there are so many deceitful rumors. Deceitful would be deliberately misleading rumors that accompany them. What has become of my image in society? We are very concerned about our image in the society. We are not concerned about Baba's image for us, or our image, Baba's image within us, or our image in Baba's mind. We are concerned with others' image. You see, they say in Hindi, we say, of course, it's a different on a different level, where सबसे बड़ा दुख, सबसे बड़ा रोग, क्या कहेंगे लोग? सबसे बड़ा रोग, क्या कहेंगे लोग? The greatest rogue, suffering, disease is what will people think about it? Why should we be bothered about what people are thinking? Because irrespective of whether you like it or not, people will continue to think the way they want to think. Irrespective of howsoever you may try to explain, it is not going to affect. So why should I spoil my health, create a blood pressure, create palpitation in my heart for somebody whom I do not like, whom I dislike, who is creating problems for me? Why should I create problem for myself because of somebody is creating problem for me? I hope I'm getting very clear. We should be so very discreet and common sensey in a sense that it should not affect us. If the charges are really false, why should they affect you? You asked mildly. This we did. But there are so many deceitful rumors that accompany them. What has become of my image in the society? You should have been more concerned about my image in your eyes than about your image in the eyes of the society. What would Baba think about me? Why are we concerned about what others think? There's another very beautiful sentence from Baba, it does not matter what the world thinks about you. What matters is what God knows about you. So we are concerned about what the world will think of me. You caution. Then Baba says, eventually the truth shall prevail. But I was too aroused to be appeased, means to quieten, to calm down, to be appeased by this kind of assurance. Many times people are so much strongly, emotional that no amount of calming down, no amount of philosophy, no amount of Baba talk is going to matter. In that case, what we do is we allow that person to really exhaust his or her steam. We just allow that person to shout and cry and do whatever it is. And then when they calm down, they are in a state of mind where we can penetrate into their system. Okay. But I was too aroused to be appeased by this kind of assurance. What should I do until then? I snapped. Just keep my mouth shut all about this? Baba says, well, not necessarily if you can't wait. That means if you can wait, allow the storm to pass, then it's the best thing to do. Just keep your mouth shut. Let others think whatever they want to think. But regardless of what you say or do, you shouldn't lose your mental balance because of it. This is important. Irrespective of whosoever is doing whatsoever in your name, false rumors, whatever, cheating, deceit, whatever it is, you should not lose your mental balance because of it. That is another very good advice that Baba is giving. You shouldn't lose your mental balance because of it. In fact, you could have taken this unexpected experience as a challenge to face and to face the situation cheerfully. Baba has given a lot of importance to cheerfulness, lot of importance to humor. Add in a pinch of humor to whatever you are doing, and by and large, the whole situation, diffuses, and you smile. I was still smarting and unable, or perhaps unwilling, to relinquish my sense of indignation. Smarting means experiencing very great emotional pain. I was in so much pain. And he says that I was unable, and then being so honest, he said, I was not wanting to be calm. I wanted it to come out, or perhaps unwilling to relinquish, to give up, relinquish my sense of indignation. Indignation is anger due to injustice. This is something injustice. Why should I tolerate? Why should I not bash that person? Why should I not shout back? That we have this sense of justice. And he's saying that it is an indignation to me, and I just did not want to be calmed down. How I wish I could do that, but it's too much, impossible. I remember an instance where something happened in school days with Adi K. Irani. And Adi came and Baba asked, what happened? So Adi said something happened and he was not at fault. And the principal, blasted him and beat him up or something like that. And Baba said, do you obey? Are you my lover? Yes. Will you obey me? Yes. Will you do what I'm telling you to do? Yes. So Baba says, go to the principal and bow down to him. It was not Adi's mistake. He said, go to the principal and bow down to him and say, I am sorry. So Adi goes to the principal. It's a very comical scene that Adi explains, that the moment principal saw Adi, and Adi was very strong and well built, he frightened that now Adi may bash him up. So Adi goes round the table to bow down, and the principal runs. So there was a comical sight that principal is running and Adi is running round the table, and Adi is running after him, And finally Adi caught up with the principal, touched his feet, put his head down and said, Sir, I'm sorry, and ran away and came to Baba and explained the whole situation to Baba. So sometimes Baba may ask us to do something which in our understanding is not just. It is not correct. Somebody has wronged me and Baba is asking me to seek pardon, to say sorry to that person. But that was Baba's way of functioning. Yes, you could be right, you sighed. And then you suggested, why don't we take a walk in the park? See, Baba is a master psychologist. Change of environment, change of place accelerates the change of mood and the change of thoughts. You are in the same place. That environment has that energy of whatever, anger, hatred, Sorry? Disgust. Yeah. So Baba is such a master psychologist. He says, okay, forget all that. Now come on, let's go out and take a walk. So he says, so if such things happen to us, we can always go for a change of environment, go for a vacation, go to somebody else's place, go to mother-in-law's place and enjoy her company. Why don't we take a walk in the park? The open air, the blue sky, the sparkling leaves and flowers will help you calm down. Get your hat, and now again a pinch of sense of humor, but don't look in the mirror. You winked at me. Why? Because his face was not lookable, so to speak. So he says, you just put on your hat, but don't look in the mirror and come out with me.
I gave you a borrowed smile and responded, I know my face is red with anger. We went to a quiet, beautiful spot in the park, but I was oblivious of the loveliness that surrounded me. The subject of our conversation still weighed on my mind. Impatiently, I asked, what did you mean about accepting all of this as a challenge to be cheerful? Here we are in such a beautiful, buoyant atmosphere, and you still haven't left your room. Come outside, you urged. Be here for a while. But first, I insisted. Tell me why all of this should have happened. Because I wanted to give a rise out of you. Get a rise out of me? Why? So that some nonsense buried deep within you could be brought to the surface and wiped away. But how am I supposed to know that it is you doing these things? I can give you simple clues, but it may not be easy for you to follow them. Tell me, I'll try to understand. The people you live and associate with are the masks that I wear over my innumerable selves. Through the mutual responses and reactions that you experience in your life, I help you to discover this truth. So, some even call me the Mask Master. What do you think of this name? By now, your presence and your words had softened my mood. Your masquerade is so perfect and profound, and the unmasking so difficult that it would be more likely for people to call you the taskmaster. And I smiled. You seemed pleased that my spirits were lifting. Aside from what other people may say or think, how would you prefer to address me? Suddenly, a feeling of gratitude came over me, and I answered spontaneously, as the perfect doctor who knows the cure for anyone's wounded spirit.
All right. So here, Baba, being such a practical master, wanted to change the environment, and they are going out for a walk. But it is not easy for us to drop that thought. Our mind is still fuming. So here what happens is, I gave you a borrowed smile, not a genuine smile, just how we do when we sometimes we just smile, and then the moment the person is just a smile, and responded, I know my face is red with anger. We went to a quiet, beautiful spot in the park, but I was oblivious to the loveliness that surrounded me. I was not aware. I was oblivious that such beautiful park and trees and blue sky and green grass, I did not take notice of those things. The subject of our conversation still weighed on my mind. Impatiently, I asked, what did you mean about accepting all this as a challenge to be cheerful? Now Baba says, here we are in such a beautiful, buoyant atmosphere, and you still haven't left your room. That means physically you have left your room, but mentally you are still in the room. You see, physically you have not left your room. Come out, come outside, means come outside of that frame of mind. Yeah, come outside from that mentally, from that frame of mind, come out of that. Now that we are in a beautiful atmosphere, you urged, be here for a while. That means Baba is telling us to be in the here and the now. Now you are in the garden, in the park, be here. Don't be in the room now. Wherever you are, be fully attentive, aware, mindful of where you are. That's what we call in the here and now. But first, I insisted, tell me why all this should have happened. Many a times we feel that why are these things happening to me? I am being so good. I have never been nasty. I never backbite anybody. I never spread false rumors for somebody. Why is it that people are doing this for me, to me? And Baba says, because I wanted to get a rise out of you. Now, to get a rise out of you means to bring out all the muck that is there within us. And even during Baba's physical ministry, he was a champion at doing that. He would know for Baba, his eyes are like a MRI, what you call it, CT scan, MRI. He knows everything that is dug deep within our psyche, deep within our subconscious. And some way or the other, he would poke some other person to poke that person so as to bring that thing out. So from the deeply rooted subconscious mind, Baba would somehow provoke and bring it out to the conscious mind, and then it would be swept away. It would be just nullified. It would be just thrown out. So that was Baba's technique, and he would do that very often with the mandli. Get a rise out of me? Why? So that some nonsense buried deep within you could be brought to the surface and wiped away. It can be, it is to be. Each one of us has got such nonsense buried deep within us, and Baba would bring it out. Now, how will Baba bring it out? He can only use so-called other people to instigate us, to trigger us, to say certain things to us so that this can come out, so that there is a rise, And that is why Baba says that whatever you encounter, think it is Baba who is doing it to you. Then that's what Baba is saying, that I am wearing a mask in the name of ABCD, and I am provoking them to do this to you so that I can bring it up and then wipe it out. But how am I supposed to know that it is you doing these things? I can give you simple clues, but it may not be easy for you to follow them. Tell me, I'll try to understand. The people you live and associate with are the masks that I wear over my innumerable selves. That means whosoever we encounter in life, the good, the bad, the ugly, are in a sense Baba wearing a mask in the name and form of that person. And that is why Baba says, that one should now cultivate the art of seeing the one in the many. That he is the one who is encountering me, who is the one who is having relationship with me. Through the mutual responses and reactions that you experience in your life, I help you to discover this truth. The truth is that Baba alone exists. The truth is that all our experiences, all our reactions, all our responses are with the one, we call it Baba, in the many. If we continuously try and cultivate the habit of experiencing Baba in each one and everything, then obviously Baba says it will help you to discover the truth. That means a time will come when we will actually experientially discover that there is nothing but Baba. Everywhere it is Baba. The way the peer of the sixth plane experience, they don't experience A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. They experience God, 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 God. So that is what Baba is trying to cultivate, that art, that practice within us, that whatever we experience, whomsoever we respond or react, think that it is Baba wearing that mask of that particular name and form. So some even call me the mask master. That's what do you think of this name? By now, your presence and your words had softened my mood. Your masquerading is so perfect. Masquerade means concealing certain things, He conceals himself in the mask of the other person is so perfect and profound, and the unmasking so difficult that it would be more likely for people to call you the taskmaster. Baba, in the earlier days, was at some time people would call him Irani Baba because his name is Mirwan Sheriar Irani, and the Mandli would call him Herani, ईरानी मास्टर नो हैरानी मास्टर, यानी हैरान करने वाला मास्टर, परेशानी देने वाला मास्टर, तकलीफ देने वाला मास्टर. So here he says taskmaster, and I smiled. You seemed pleased that my spirits were lifting. So now he has come out of the room and he is pleased. Aside from what other people may say or think, how would you prefer to address me? Baba is asking. Suddenly, a feeling of gratitude came over me, and I answered spontaneously, as a perfect doctor who knows the cure for anyone's wounded spirit.
So you're feeling better now? Yes, definitely. Then you'll have to pay the doctor his fee. Send me the bill, I'll be joined. It will come soon. I'll be waiting. And both of us laughed. Just about then, a crowd of people began to drift our way, and so we parted. In a bright, happy mood, greatly relieved, I reached home. There was an envelope on the table. I could recognize the handwriting as that of the friend who had created all of the uproar with the defaming rumors. I wanted to tear it to pieces, but something within prompted me to open the letter. The contents greatly surprised me. Totally misinformed, deepest apologies, terribly sorry. Let us be friends again. Please forgive me and also all of those involved in this unfortunate incident.
Sorry. So here we are seeing, and many of us may have experienced, that when we go the Baba way, the how Baba wants us to respond to life's situations, automatically, if you want to use the word miraculously, then miraculously, I'm not much for miracles and all that. Automatically, spontaneously, things array itself, things change in such a manner that we realize that it is so nice that we followed Baba's instructions or Baba's promptings within our heart. So here now his temperament is now okay. He is happy, and he calls Baba the divine doctor, the perfect doctor. And if I am the doctor, then obviously I will bill you. And jokingly he says, okay, you send me the bill and I will pay the bill. You see? And then he, in a very different mood, he goes back home. And when he goes back home, he sees a letter, a sealed letter on his table and with familiar handwriting of his friends. And this is what the friend now is writing. Totally misinformed, deepest apologies, terribly sorry. How the whole thing changes. Let us be friends again. Please forgive me and also all of those involved in this unfortunate incident.
I could scarcely believe what I was reading. It was hard to absorb, and the thought flashed through my mind. Is this the bill you promised to send me? That I am to forgive all of these people? The next moment, all of the misery and bitterness I had experienced over the past few weeks welled up in me once again. All of those caustic remarks rang in my ears. I saw the sarcastic expressions. Yet, as I saw those faces in my mind's eye, it was as though you were winking at me through their eyes. Clear up, clear up,
Cheer up.
cheer up, clear up the bill. Now is the time. But does merely saying sorry mean truly feeling sorry in one's heart? I asked myself. Real forgiveness seemed far beyond me. The wounds that were still bleeding in my heart were not willing to say forgiven so readily. In fact, some were moaning, why forgive? Is this fair? This bill is unpayable, I mumbled to myself. My inability to keep my words to you brought tears to my eyes. Slowly, I pulled out a chair and lowered myself into it. What was being brought to the surface and what was being wiped away? I had no idea. Nevertheless, I felt that what you had told me had deep significance. I did not need to know it, but only prayed to you. Please help me pay your bill.
How beautiful the chapter is and how it applies to many of us. So human, correct. So now all these sorries have been given. Please forgive, let us forget. See how the mind is. Just by saying sorry, you mean to say you are really sorry? Do you really feel sorry? What is the guarantee that you are not going to repeat? What about the month-long suffering that I have gone through, all the burning in the heart that has happened? Do you expect me to just say, okay, now let us gale mil jate hai? That's what Baba would ask the mandali to do. You know, there will be fights and fights. Sometimes there may not be, but Baba would trigger it. And then Baba would say, okay, now forget it, forget the whole thing, and just embrace each other. And they had to do it, and they would do it. So it is such a traumatic situation that the author is going through. I could scarcely believe what I was reading. It was hard to absorb. And the thought flashed through my mind, is this the bill you promised to send me, that I am to forgive all of these people? See, the mind is now playing that Baba had said that I will send the bill in due course. And immediately Baba sent the bill before he could reach home. The bill was lying on the table. So the mind is now functioning. Is this the bill that you talked about? And am I expected to forgive all these people who said all kinds of nasty things about me and who went all out to spoil my name, not just once, but throughout the entire month? Do you expect me to forgive them? It's like that. Remembering this, I am reminded of a scene, a film scene from a film called Jesus of Nazareth. I always say it's one of my most favorite films, which I had seen the most number of times. The scene is like this, that Jesus is sitting with his disciples, apostles, and washing his hands in a pond. And Barabbas is, he's a like a revolutionary. He comes and he bows down to Jesus. He comes very close to Jesus and whispers in his ears that I have a whole gang of people, let us revolt against the order, the person who are prosecuting Jesus. We have a whole gang of people, that these are the people who have raped our women, who have torched our houses, who have murdered our men. We are with you. You are our king. Now we make you a king. Now let us revolt and take the revenge. What do you say? So Jesus says, very beautiful sight, forgive them. And Barabbas has a very peculiar, what is this man talking? Is he out of his head? They have done all these things and he says, forgive them. And then he repeats, forgive them all. And Barabbas becomes so dejected, and he just rushes out. And then a superb scene where Jesus calls out to him. He looks up and says, Barabbas. And Barabbas stops and turns around. And Jesus says, join me. I found it so impactful. The Lord asking somebody, join me. But Barabbas, he was in the heat of anger or whatever anguish he said. He just walks away. It's a very, very touching scene where Jesus comes across as the most benevolent and most forgiving Father. He says, forgive them, whatever they do not know. That's what he said when he was on the cross, that God forgive them for they know not what they do. So in other words, here, he's saying, is the Lord, is Baba expecting me to forgive all these people? The next moment, all of the misery and bitterness I had experienced over the past few weeks welled up in me once again. It is second round of welling. All of those caustic remarks rang in my ears. I saw the sarcastic expressions. Yet, as I saw those faces in my mind's eye, it was as though you were winking at me through their eyes. So at least that one thing, progress was that he was able to see through the mask that it is Baba who is winking at him. Cheer up, clear up the bill. Now is the time. Like Jesus saying, forgive them all. Barabbas, follow me. He could not follow. And the same thing happens here. He does not follow. He keeps the bill unpayable. So that's the chapter of the title of the chapter. But now the mind starts working. But does merely saying sorry mean truly feeling sorry in one's heart? See how the mind functions. Oh, you said sorry, but are you really sorry? Are you really feeling sorry? Do you realize what hurt you have given me? Do you realize how you spoiled my name? I ask myself. Real forgiveness seemed far beyond me. I cannot forgive you. The wounds that were still bleeding in my heart were not willing to say, forgiven, so readily. In fact, some were moaning, why forgive? Is it fair? We always say this. Oh, you did what you wanted to do to me. You spoiled my name. You spoiled my entire life. And now you come and face me and say, please forgive me. Is it fair to forgive you? Why should I forgive you? But remember, Baba says that forgiveness is the greatest charity. In forgiving somebody, you benefit more than the person who is forgiven. That means forgiveness is an act of self-love. Forgiveness is an act where you actually release yourself from the bondage of somebody else haunting over you day and night. So forgiveness is one of the best things that we can do, not only to others, but even to ourselves. We may have done something in the past and we are unwilling to forgive ourselves. So Baba says, forgive even yourself. Coming back to the reading, the author Bal Natu ji says, this bill is unpayable. That means I am not willing to forgive these people. I mumbled to myself. My inability to keep my word to you. Because when Baba says that since you make me a doctor, I will send you the bill. And the author says, send me the bill and I will pay. But he did not pay. He could not pay. Sorry. My inability to keep my word to you brought tears to my eyes. Slowly, I pulled out a chair and lowered myself into it. What was being brought to the surface and what was being wiped away. That's what Baba said that all this, I'll bring it out. The author says, I have no idea. Nevertheless, I felt that what you had told me had deep significance. Theoretically, I completely agree to what you said. But it is my own inability to pay the bill, my own inability to forgive them. I did not need to know it, but only prayed to you. So this is another positive way of looking at it. But only prayed to you. Please help me pay your bill. So that is the beseeching, the praying, the asking of Baba to help us to forgive others and to help us to forgive ourselves. And not only in terms of forgiving, but in terms of all the other attributes of our life, wherever we are unable to live the life which Baba wants us to live, the only recourse for us is, it's not that we are unable to live. The frank and honest answer would be, we are not willing to live that life. It's as simple as that. Because if Baba wants it, we can do it in a jiffy, but we don't want to. We want to continue our own lifestyle, our own so-called comfort, conveniences, whatever.
Games.
Sorry? Yeah, our own game. So the next best thing to do would be to ask his help, genuinely and honestly. Please help me. to overcome whatever that shortcoming is. And here ends the chapter. I think we still have about 5 minutes. Obviously, we are not going to go into any new chapter. There's a chapter remaining. Any questions, any sharing? I don't mind closing the session 2-3 minutes early. It doesn't matter, I suppose. Anybody has anything to share? How did you find the chapter? Do you find it is the book is worth reading? Do you find that there is really a lot of parivartan, we call it, transformation within us when we are reading this? Because it is so much human, it is so much everyday affair that we go through, and what Baba's standpoint is in respect of those attributes. Yes, Aban, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
It is sometimes said that attitude of gratitude and attitude of forgiveness, if when they go together, our life becomes much easier.
Absolutely.
And here Baba has really given so many things in a way of a story or conversation. And if we were to follow it, I think apna gana fera ocha thai jai.
Very true. Very true.
And you have also done your job so well that it has gone into the mind.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Baba. Think that Baba is wearing a mask called Cyrus, and Baba is listening with a mask called Aban. So it's all Baba, Baba, Baba. Think it that way. Thank you. Thank you very much, Aban. Thank you very much. Anybody else wants to share anything? I don't want to start anything now, obviously. Just about 3 minutes more. But if anybody wants to share or convey anything, all right, nothing else. I think then in that case, we close for the day. If nobody has anything to say, thank you very much. Thank you, beloved Baba.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Okay, Baba.